with the living people.
Good day and welcome to the program. The show where they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 8.1 FM. And so we're on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. Mina Karifa to contact where they bring this edition of the program. The show come to you. Like all time inside the program, we get plenty news, information, and entertainment. So stay with me for the next 1 hour. Inside the program today, we go talk to the Director for Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services na the Ministry of Social Welfare, and Sumana Kone. We can talk about the impacts of Social Welfare Ministry and the fight against drug and substance abuse. The program now made a show and it come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Inside the program, we will look at the first issue. One dermatologist na Connaught Teaching Hospital, Dr. John Stevens Better say one pan the challenge where people they get for access to skin care and that the country say no gets better dermatologist them. In talk this power interview where they talk about how alarming skin infection don't be in a salon. Dr. John Stevens Better talk more to me inside this interview.
Well, we get a lot of wide range of skin conditions in salon, even all over the world. Some can range from infection, bacterial infection, fungal infection, viral infection, and all the rest. Parasitic infection like scabies. Some of them are cancers, right? We get cancer way harmful. We can call like malignant cancers. We're not too boku. We get cancer that we're not harmful. We call benign cancer. We also not too boku. But the commonest one there we don't see are more infections and inflammatory conditions.
Okay. So what are some of the things where they cause skin cancer?
The skin cancer normally we group it into two. We get the bad one then we can call malignant cancer, right? Skin cancer like we get what we call basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma. They're not really too common among the blacks. Most times we can see an population like the albinos, the one they not get melanin, so most times it's very common among them, right? Like the squamous cell carcinoma and basal cell carcinomas. Then we get the benign one then, can cause much of harms. But the common one they can see now like Kaposi sarcoma, and the more can see in the hospital settings they can come.
What are some of the warning signs and symptoms that we person the see in skin we enough for ignore?
Skin at the outermost part of the body, then people in the see. Like most of the complaints that with the skin they tell you, not to think for ignore. Something can be like common itch, or it can be like common rash in your body. All that one that they tell, they communicate, say something they happen in your body. They will assume say like somebody get internal disease, right? Like maybe diabetes, they get HIV, they get other condition that we now systemic disease. The body now enforce the tell, say, okay, this rash wey they get, it relates to either you get HIV or diabetes. So that make whatever you see in your skin, for ignore them. But most of them things, they're not so thin for ignore because it can lead to complications.
So let's look at again another thing where most common, I would say, now the bleaching cream them where most of people can use we get for do that. So it's are the health risks we associate with skin bleaching cream then?
Yeah, so like skin lighting practices, what we can call bleaching. Now a common practice what they see all over the world. So Sierra Leone to exception, we call it Siamboku. Because most of them bleaching creams that we will use, it gets components and when are chemicals them where they cause harm to the body. Some can be like common one day when are irritation, where they bleach the skin they itch because it don't fit your body, or when you don't bleach the skin will become very very thin, what we can call atrophy. So during that time if you get time, let's assume say you get problem, you go for surgery, all then things they can lead to complications because you don't bleach the skin don't light, it can even cause other problems than back. Okay, then some man you don't bleach, we can also call rebound phenomenon. The bleach now say you don't want this particular spot in your body. By the end of the day, the cream they use it cause more spots back in your body where it go difficult for men. Like one thing they will call exogenous ochronosis. So man cannot bleach, you don't say and say the spot, you get that dark spot in your face. And that one is more than your cheeks. It had to go because the cream, the components where they do with the hydroquinone, they don't cause that. And that hydroquinone can cause a lot of irritation. So man, then if you don't bleach the skin don't become so lighter that it even cause an infection. So man don't bleach, you don't get stretch marks. And stretch marks, I think, it's not easy for reverse, right?
Okay, July 8th this year on Salon Journal that continent and the world for celebrate World Skin Health Day. So we see usai owners dermatologists then they go na different community then they do free skin testing for people them. So what is the data they show in terms of skin infection at salon?
So for we in a salon in partnership with other organizations like Sierra Leone Association of People Living with Albinism, we come together through the DHMT in the Western area. We decided to say, okay, we own now this year, we try for like do sensitization at the community. We are really going for do like free screening, we can call a skin camp for undeserved people them, the next slum areas them. More than like 200 participants that will see with skin disease. We're going to see a wide range of skin disease. But among the one that we'll see, we'll also say like skin infection is really, really high, the prevalence high, based on what we see in the community.
Now you don't mention some of them skin infection and then some of the causes. So it's not the biggest skin health challenge where people face in a salon for get access to a dermatologist.
Yeah, that's the key things. Just like how you don't see, because trained dermatologists them not really bokuna salon. So it's like most of the skin conditions is being managed at the PHUs and the community. And in the community we get health workers them, right? But these are not trained dermatologists, or they are not trained in managing, even recognizing the common skin infections and health-seeking behavior. So most people see and say skin condition as something very minor. Oh, I get this, I can go to the pharmacy, I go buy. You continue to buy, but if you don't know what they treat at all, you end up getting worse in the situation. So access is one of the things.
That's now one dermatologist na Connaught Teaching Hospital, Dr. John Stevens Better be the talk na the interview with Musa and say one pan the challenge where people they get for access to skin care and that's the country say no get better dermatologist them. The program now me they show and it comes to live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As I've known earlier, today we talk to Ansumana Kone, we are the Director of Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services na the Ministry of Social Welfare. As in there, so today for talk about the impact of Social Welfare Ministry and the fight against drug and substance abuse na salon. So, Mr. Kone, let's start first for give people an update on a recent activity they want to do for in terms of rehabilitation and other things for tap drugs na salon.
Well, so the ministry, we work alongside the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse, and other partners them for this drug also. And the ministry now they lead on the rehabilitation, recovery, and reintegration pillar. So as we speak, we get 200 people in currently within into rehabilitation. I should say last year, we just established 3 rehab centers around the country We're in Hastings, PMTC, in our western area, Gundama, in Abo district, and Daruna Kailan district. But from that time to now, we don't have two or more other rehab centers. Then we don't open rehab center in Makeni, in Teko Barracks. We don't also open another rehab center in Kono, at the military base. So I had two development in Dande, and then so far, we don't rehabilitate close to 900, and the 200 a day. If they're discharged by end of August, we don't go close to 1,100 young people then. We're not drug addicts then. We're going to go through rehabilitation in this country.
So the different rehabilitation centers that we mentioned are the different districts, they don't begin to open out to the public?
Yes, they're functional. We don't do the first batches. We don't admit 50. We don't go through rehabilitation, na Kono, and the same number, na Makeni. So if I were in preparation for admit the second batches, we're 50-50, and then side and there for insurance. So young people then say for the district, and they get access to rehabilitation services.
For rehabilitate the people in a one, for make people and get the services we una rehabilitate. Which are some of the services then they una can get to then drug addicts then they?
Well, of course, one of the main functions of the rehab center, now for instance, say, where drug addicts did in order to get access to drug. So the main motive now for instance, we keep them off drugs. We teach them drug prevention strategies. We teach them some more that way to make sure so when they come on rehab, they don't go back to drugs. And we also make sure so we provide psychosocial interventions, and I make we get social workers in there. We provide counseling services for them, therapies. We get drug addiction workers. We support them. We get medical services in the center there. Then above all, with the million nutritional needs, and I make we feed them 3 times a day because most drug addicts, they eat better food. So they feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all the period within the day, within at least 8 weeks.
So it's not the monitoring process for say then drug addicts then they not even get access to drug in terms of then people and they don't use for take the different drug that they take every day.
Now the rehab center?
Yes.
Of course, rehab center, we got tough security. And that make you find say all rehabilitation centers there, they're established on a military basis. So the military, the soldier man and they provide security for we. Because especially we can just don't take them. It can very difficult the first 1 to 2 weeks because now the withdrawal stage and where the drug they left them. Some man can become violent, some man they sick, and then we get medical, some man they curse, some man they do all kinds of things for the command center. Some man they attempt for escape. So the military did it for deter them, may not move. So that first 1 2 weeks it will be very, very difficult. So anyone where they put up resistance or where it can up be violent, the security forces then they work with social workers for ensuring so we calm them down. So we get rules and regulations at the rehab center.
Okay, so how una can go about for say una rehabilitate then drug addicts then they? Is it that na registration una they open or they open to the public or na people they come they come say I want go make una rehabilitate me picking for me?
Since over 2 years ago, we get standard operating procedures. The rehab center now like public service. In fact, I want to do any advert because people know now say Ministry of Social Welfare get rehabilitation services. So the numbers where they can now is too much. Now everybody, because of the previous one, they don't go through rehab. People see in the communities. They say, but if people say they say go rehab. Oh, they do well all anything and they. So you don't make the message don't go to the public. So people in the camp, then they register, we get a database, we do assessment, and make sure say you are fit for good rehabilitation, we refer you there. We get referral pathway. You will get serious condition, we can refer you to Ministry of Health, maybe for let them treat you. You will get other conditions or physio, you need services, one or two rehabilitation services, we can refer you there. So now people in the carry them, we register them, we add them to a database, we do screening and take a decision in terms of who side they go.
For almost weeks or months when I can rehabilitate them?
Yeah, they can do 2 months. They can have a rehab center for 2 months. Then after that, they will get a mechanism where social workers can follow up with them, for CSA, then sustain the change where they don't make. Because drug addiction is a very tough thing for life. So, just come on rehab no more, forget about you. No, we get follow-up mechanism, for instance, say, the change where you don't make may sustain them. And they the challenge can really there.
So it's not them follow-up mechanism then and they. Is it that una they find work for them or waiting una they make the left the community side and be there?
Well, the model they use now rehabilitation, recovery, and reintegration. So once you don't come out rehab, we get various sessions then. Now that make the database, it clearly show the career pathway. Budamango University would ensure to support you, work with the Ministry of Technical Higher Education from a Go Back University. Budamango Go Back School would work with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education for ensure you go back school. Budamango into vocational training would work with various MDs then. That's what they do. Then the one who want go into trade would also work with the Ministry of Youth Affairs and other partners then for ensure so we keep them meaningfully engaged. So that make the success rate really, really high, even though we still get people that will relapse. We don't ever get 100% because on Monday, whatever you do, the rest of your life, you will depend on drug business.
Ministry of Social Welfare and one pandy institution away under the task force where President Bio set up. So it's not the status of drugs in the country now presently.
Well, I believe so, as a government, we really make a lot of effort. You go see say now the number of young men in first term where you go see say really in the streets they take the drug. Now you don't go see them again. Most of them they go to then corner them, they go to then get to them, they go to then slum areas. Then they go take the drug. They don't also see say as a government they don't clamp down on some of the people who manufacture the drug and the suppliers. You don't see say the Ministry of Justice, the judiciary don't lock plenty people them up, plenty people in the parliament right now for they run jail for many years as a result of drug addiction. I should say the full story there. So government in a way they make effort. So small, we try for put under control.
So which of the cases the more they receive? Is it that people where they take kush, tramadol, and other drugs them? Also and they in the increase?
All kind of drug. Then it difficult to tell. But all kind of drug, some money can to be service for kush, some money can for tramadol, some money can for different. But the most common one them na kush and tramadol. But remember, I see all that drug then do.
Yeah.
One of the shocking things we don't begin see as well, even in junior secondary schools. We don't do some recent awareness raising program in our schools then, for meet up the recently commemorated International Drug Day. Issues around illicit trafficking on our international day, for 5 drug at the world. So during that week day, we do a lot of awareness raising. And something that will come to your attention is that we get lots of young people, young people within our junior secondary schools where they take drug. And a tramadol, which is a really, really common and inside there, tramadol. Then they tell you say 90% of the people will come across. They don't tell you say that either they don't see tramadol or they don't try. So tramadol is also on the increase, in as much as kush day, but tramadol itself really on the increase in the country.
So it's not let's say the age of people then way more on they see in terms of when they receive where they take drugs.
I mean, at the rehab center, we don't get as young as 13-year-old at the rehab center. We get
a boy or girl picking?
Na boy picking, because majority about 80 to 90% of the one where they come to your attention na boy picking them. Okay. Even the over 1,000 we don't go to rehabilitation, just around 11 to 12% na girl picking them. But 90% when they come to your attention na boy picking them. We don't get as young as 13-year-old into rehab. Of course, we get late 20s and early 30s. We don't come to your attention where they go into rehab. Now that age range the more. And that make the data, 60% of the data, it will show you say now people that don't drop out of university, college or school. So that it also tell you say the young people that were into education, plenty they drop out as a result of drug addiction.
Okay. Continue for the with me na the program and name na Ansumana Kone and the Director of Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services na the Ministry of Social Welfare. Today in the also for talk about the impact of Social Welfare Ministry by the fight against drug and substance abuse in the country. The program na made a show and it come to life from the Society for the Democracy 98.1 FM. You self keep be part of the program by why you go send a comment or text message to the number 0779191 or self you go now Radio Democracy Facebook and YouTube page and drop in comments or questions there. As today we talk about the impact of Social Welfare Ministry and the fight against drugs and substance abuse. The program they continue and we look at another issue in the program. The chairman for the Douazak Community Football Association, Godfried Ansil, say Douazak veterans don't give 5 million loans as their support towards Douazak football welfare. In talk this way, Douazak Football Association go appoint them new coach. We will lead them pan competition where Douazak gets for the take part pan. We reporter Alfred Jana gets when gonna report.
Community football gets big role for play, for develop player them for reach national level. As the national top flight league season they complete now, all attention dey per different inter-community competition them from the Dwazak community. The focus now for win the 2026 Central One Football Association competition where this don't make this community don't they get different agreements with young player them, appoint coach and plan strategy for achieve them goal. Radio Democracy go work at this community for know how far this plan don't go now. We make the newly appointed head coach for Dwazak football, Suleiman Kamara, where people sabi as African teacher, explain waiting in the expect from the Dwazak football committee.
Well, the problem are the unity. You know, say any kind of way the community to be. People and get misunderstanding with themselves where when are the executive na Dwazak, but they say how best to go for settle before we go na parade because we no want go with different mindsets. We want everybody there together as one, then we keep for move. Well, I just want to encourage all the fans and for let them come watch the game. We play the 29 away in Englandville and let them continue for towards the process. Say, by God power will deliver. And let them believe on the players that we did because we still lay on scouting players because we really don't it, but we will try as a coach for do best. We will get the best players that will represent we for this year.
Fans themselves get better role for play. In terms of grassroots football, Radio Democracy asks waiting them they expect from the team.
Since the system don't change everybody, the new management, so we anticipate good football. Well, I expect a different momentum owing to the fact the caliber of players them we Dwazak don't try for come with. We expect quality and we expect say that they deliver.
The expectation for win the cup and made them talk to the players and made the all as one, made the players one mind that would make we win the cup. Peaceful one will come back now home.
This time around Dwazak for puts up one of the best performance now the parade ground because when you come to think of it, Dwazak couldn't produce and we get more Premier League players who they play this Premier League in Sierra Leone and we get more players who don't be exposed.
The newly appointed chairman for Dwazak Football Association, Godfrey Hansels, explained what he meet and the Dwazak Football Association accounts.
No, I don't meet no money at the Kufa when we come in as a chairman, but that doesn't mean I not get a charge for keep or anybody really they call as a stakeholder not get a charge for keep because I know see I have a charge to keep towards my community. I know they sit down and wait for the people and tell me what if I do. Dwazak community and a community with love. If it can give a contribution of 5 million loans and they also tell we see they sign 3 players, they call the players, they name the way they sign and also they see the first game then go they in charge of FC Farm.
Godfrey answers end up for encourage fans for continue for support the Dwazak team for the society for Radio Democracy. Mina Alfrejana de report.
The program now made a show and it comes to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Inside the program, I still get with me and Sumana Kone, and the Director of Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services, now the Ministry of Social Welfare. As today in the House of talk about the impact of Social Welfare Ministry for the fight against drug and substance abuse in the country. So Mr. Kone, now look into the topic proper. Look at some of the impacts them where the Ministry of Social Welfare don't make the fight against drug and substance abuse.
Well, I think I'll start with, from the time where His Excellency the President declared state of emergency, because even before that, when I've been 2024, the Ministry of Social Welfare will establish the first rehabilitation center when our community based in this country. So the fact, say, from that turning to now, we'll establish 5 rehab centers around the country. I think that one huge progress down there. And just like I've said previously, as I speak, we get 200 people currently into rehabilitation, 100, in fact 106 in Hastings right now, where we admit last week. Then a few weeks ago, we admit another 100 in Gunama in Daru, within a Kailan district. So currently, then 200 people they need to rehab. And remember, it's not rainy season. And rainy season, now that time, the more the impact of drug addiction, can be so devastating on the young people there. So then 200 people in currently they need to rehab, we provide services, safe space for them, and we ensure say they will come out very soon and contribute meaningfully to the society. And as I speak, also in the next few days, we plan for do a final assessment. Now McKinney and Connor for ensure we have beat another 100. And generally, I don't say we don't rehabilitate close to 1,000 young people in this country, and at least 60% of the one, and they're very successful. Some man don't go back university, some man don't go back college, some man don't go back school. In fact, we don't also help for reinstate some young people then, where they don't drop out of their work. We don't get people the way the bankers, some man are solicitors, some man in different affairs. We don't drop out, as a result of addiction at the workplace. Then people in the world, we don't try to support some of them to go back.
Community engagement or sensitization are one way keep and is fit. How una don't they go about for tell young people but the danger of drug and substance abuse?
Well, as far as the National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse concerned, now other ministry are responsible for awareness raising, or looking done with them collaboratively, where now the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Then of course the community engagement, when I Ministry of Local Governments now in the lead on that. But that itself, they go on, as I tell you recently. So awareness raising and community engagement program, then they go on, as the task force, they work, in that collaborative way. But of course, the Ministry of Social Welfare will specific area, now rehabilitation and reintegration of young people.
Okay, continue for the between the program. Now we take music break.
Come together, cause no other person who can for mix alone past we. Listen to the lyrics, the message, learn some lesson and get some blessing. Go to utter we for Yegi, them they shoot and they loot. The man they don't die, but then kicking they cry. The problem just a pile, nobody know they smile. And because it's up, just a double, people they grumble. Say they not go able, because you not stable, waiting for do. Now for stop the vets, make use of waiting we get, forgive and forget. They will swell a bit of medicine, so we go well. With God your blessings, alone go well. That's in the work go day, and then go they pay. Then big business man go come, so we say we come. Book man go call it tool, the king go go to school. We go travel up and down, let's go plenty at home. The one with the sing or play, but said go get small. This not to lie, we go try it and be fly, but first let we beg God for this one word. Salon Milan, Salon Milan, Salon now we on. Salon for me, Salon for you, Salon for we all. To wait the gun, to wait the gun, let we let go run. To wait the gun, let we get some fun. The brother Salon man there and sister there. No, the man they left for sleep. Now begin creep. Yeah, man, I feel pain and strain, but I believe in the end, we must get gain. If we listen to the lesson, we'll get some blessing. Now we all the big God for this one word, and now this way, if we say we go get one word, then we left Akata and Fala Makata. Stop the badat and Kungusa. Now by the way, they all them bad news is scatter. So man, they still fool, but all with them go school. He goes so they cancel, you talk this and talk that he put for me. They just a take. You think you really wanna, so man can go and make him member. Who said this thing good? All man look corrupt, even speaking we just born. People they go up and down at the tongue. Waiting they cause that, now the feds. So mommy and daddy, let we come together for this one word. Salon Milan, Salon Milan, Salon now we on. Salon for me, Salon for you, Salon for we all. To wait the gun, let we let go run. To wait the gun, let we get some fun. Salon Milan, Salon now we on. Salon for me, Salon.
Well, Fambul Absun, I enjoyed that song then at the program. The program now made a show and it come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And where they bring to now this edition of the program, and even Kaifa to Conte. Yourself can be part of the program by go send a comment or text message to the number 077929191 or self you go on Radio Democracy Facebook page. Now I come to my studio guests as today we talk about the impact of the Social Welfare Ministry benefit against drugs and substance abuse. So, Mr. Kone, how the Ministry of Social Welfare don't they work with schools and other body them for CC, then engage them on the issue of drugs and substance abuse? As we mentioned earlier, say una get a 13-year-old bobo we una be rehabilitate.
Yes, this work we do in collaboration with, other MDs them, just like I tell you, and other partners, like the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. We don't go out there, for example, before we commemorate International Drug Day in this country, when I'll be in the 26th of June, we work with various schools them at the Western area. So now I'll give the example of, some of the schools then, engage with the PKM, go to the assembly, actually talk to them, talk to them about the dangers of drug, discuss some drug prevention strategies then, and, try for, just cite the opinion in terms of the knowledge about drug in this country. So it's been very, very shocking for like at least 90% of the PKM really tell we say they don't see tramadol, they don't see kush, and for some of them also tell we say they don't try them. But I really admire their sincerity. So that urge we for work with some partners then for see how cable establish some drug prevention groups them, some drug prevention clubs them that is schools them. So that young people them then go work the school picking them then go work in partnership with the teachers there for ensure say anybody who needs support on that level they then bring out to your attention. We've been trying to tell and say if they know of any of them colleagues them who they struggle with drug addiction, let them tell we'll go see how we will provide services including rehabilitation services for that person there, or if not basic intervention that person in need, we will provide psychosocial services for them. So we don't offer then kind of service then and then schools then they based on the information we come to your attention.
So let's look at the gap in the fight against mental health and the fight against drugs and substance abuse in the country.
Or the gap?
Yes.
Well, we did try because these facts now government they fund now 100%. So if we able to get donor partners then for come on board, if we able to get a private sector for support this process here, so I think we will score more goals there. We will save more young people than this because the government get competing demands. So the money when they give for fair drug, if they give more past than they will go support and save more young people there. But I think the private sector need for come on board. Donor partners they need for come on board because then for no say drug addiction if you continue in this country. Government, one of government's in flagship on human capital development, it go very difficult to achieve. Even the employment creation of thousands of young people there, it go difficult for contend with because the young people there where for do the jobs then, the age range, and then they into addiction. And somebody into addiction, we don't see evidence of them not being motivated for even work or even go school. So that's a very serious matter. So everybody needs to come on board for able to fight this menace here.
Okay. So I go differentiate and drug addicts and possibly they refer to say this in mental health.
Well, very, very interesting. It's like the chicken and the egg. Evidence don't show say drug it induce mental health. So substance use disorders like mental problem. You go there, you're very okay as a young person, but once you don't begin to take drug because of the chemical components in the drug, it affects your brain. So one of the evidence will come to your attention is that data from the King's Psychiatric Hospital clearly shows say 70% of the young people there where don't they go there from 2020 to 2023 and even current day, then they present with drug-induced mental health. And one of the mental health problems they can present with now psychosis, when they get hallucinations, when they hear voices, and then kind of thing in there. So we know some drug it induce mental health. And also, if you get existing mental health problem, you begin to take drug. Say, against mental health problem, and they begin to take drug, it will worsen the situation than the signs of addiction. Don't clearly to shit and they. So I could don't see a lot of mental health problems in young people as a result of drug addiction. They would also see even parents themselves because of the challenges when they face with drug addiction. If you're picking a drug addict, it's very stressful as a parent. Then they thief, then they get behavioral problems. We don't also see a lot of parents that don't begin developmental problems, anxiety disorders, depression as a result of them picking them being drug addicts.
Okay, continue for the return the program worker look at the role of parents them and self community leaders them on the fight against drug and substance abuse. The program made a show they continue and we look at another issue na the program. Some blind people wait up na Kapetek community Koidu Town Kono district don call on Alhaji Musa Tarawali for a build training center for them for a tap challenge where then they face na Kono district. Then people here talk this power meeting where Alhaji Musa Tarawali go waka na Kono district. We go engage with younger generation leader them na the Salon People Party. Well, for more on this, make we join reporter Alhaji Jalo.
That na some blind people and supporter them na the Salon People's Party be the welcome Alhaji Musa Tarawali na Kono district. Usa Engowa Canadian district for no the challenge them we party member them na the Salon People's Party they face na Kono district. And same way so engage with young generation leader them across the 16 district them na the Salon People's Party. Usa Alhaji Musa Tarawali don they support vulnerable people them na different parts them na the country through the multi-purpose cooperative society. Where this na for help woman them we tap na deprived community them for do business and able take care of themselves and their family. We in the talk as one party flag bearer aspirant for the Salon People's Party, Alhaji Musa Tarawali, talk about the reason we make Ingo work na Kono district.
The one I today, now for the YG all over the country, they choose for Ghana Kono for make me and they engage. The support groups Una can and support Mikawanaya and me they propose the 154 support groups Una for establish one umbrella support group where I will support Una through.
Inside this waka, where Alhaji Musa Tarawali do na Kono district, one set of people we don't face serious challenge na Kono district, na blind people we meet Alhaji Musa Tarawali and talk about and challenge them within the face.
Wetin they tell Pa Musa Tarawali that we own papa na we own pikin. As we the blind then na Kono do ya we the beg am. One, even ski training center let open am for we. Some of we they make soap like me as well they able make soap like Abakudu. Some then they make that build shoes. Some then they where they na pasha blind and they make your dressing then they do your dressing work. So if they pay up with that side we go come on our streets for beg. But no easy we go kuna streets where they beg we the blind there. Na Kapete we dey let them make we place.
And one for action that let's support we let empower we because we believe in empowerment. That we center where we can go the all day with the land alpha skill let able empower with it. And if you able ask for help say what I say build for with that place who save that and we go get that structure there now. We go able for do the alpha thing and we able make furniture go do we able learn adult literacy the learner we go do business go do but people like this we make them build shoes there. Then the planter when are blind people and then they make the kiola there. If they tell you say na blind person they make kiola you know they believe. So when empowerment to want
with them request they with them people here don't make to Alhaji Musa Tarawali waiting Alhaji Musa Tarawali they do for help tap they challenge them where blind people they face na Kono district.
I admire una courage, disability not to inability. I go plan something very good for una. But for now, I go give una 10 million old loan. So I go gather there for the manager. So I will keep in touch with you. More will communicate, yeah?
Alhaji Musa Tarawali end up promising people here say he go solve some party challenge them where them people here they face na Kono district. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me na Alhaji Jalo, they report.
The program now made a show and it comes to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Inside the program, I still get with me and Sumana Kone in the Director, Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services na the Ministry of Social Welfare. As today in the also for talk about the impact of the Social Welfare Ministry on the fight against drugs and substance abuse in the country. So Mr. Cornello look at now the role of comrade and this fight against drug and substance abuse.
Well, now a big area you don't come up with so because even the data set we'll get now the ministry from the registration, it don't show say the parents them, the comrade them. While it's about comrade, somebody papa them and the mommy them, and even the community get a very important role for play. If I want to be seen, we don't see is that 90% of the parents them or the carers with the cow the picking them from register them. Now woman them. We don't see a lot of families of that nature. We don't see much of the papa them. We don't see much of the daddy them. So 90%, now that the data they show you. So that tells us something is going wrong. And 95% of the picking of the come to your attention are boy picking them. Within, when are teenagers picking them and within their early 20s. So that it takes something is happening in this country. So the family structure, again, very important role for play. Now the family is first will identify change in behavior of we picking them. If picking them begin to take drug, now the family first now they notice. So in terms of prevention, in terms of intervention, and in terms of rehabilitation, the family is getting important role for play. Because if you don't see say picking don't change in behavior, it's supposed for less authorities there. No. And even families themselves, parents and they will sell drug. If you're not a parent, they sell drug. What do you expect? We don't get a case in a bond. I always talk about this. Then tell you what they do scope invested 2 years ago. We get a case in a bond where the parents and they prepare the drug for sale. They picking the 2-year-old picking or 1-year-old picking where they work out, they take the drug, they swell around. Before then they go without picking up, without picking they die. Now safeguarding concern, we're not a parent. So in terms of role modeling, parents they need for be role models. You a parent, you get picking there, you sell drug. What you get for expect? It expose them picking it to risk. And anyone picking when a drug addict in a family, it expose all the other picking them to risk. So even crime. Because you don't know if that picking they get connection with suppliers. The intervention, if you don't see picking behavior they change, you suspect that they take drug. No waste any time. You know, the Ministry of Social Welfare Day, where they provide rehabilitation services, bring them to your attention. We assess that picking and see how can we provide support to them. And also one other important role of families and parents and communities now after rehabilitation, because we don't get some young picking and we don't come out, from rehabilitation. They don't face stigmatization and discrimination in communities. Communities, they go for accept them pick here. They go for believe say if you don't go rehabilitation, I'll see a change person now. Many support them. Even in terms of the supply. Communities, they know the people that sell drugs. But some people in agree pass on that information there. Or where the security forces want for go do raid in certain communities. The information they leak. Now the communities. So the communities then get a very important role just as much as the families. But we don't see a lot of family values don't go down the drain. First time, neighbor, they go see you picking. They say, hey, but you picking, they go pass society, or don't say pass society, no. Sometimes they say for take action. But I didn't think how they happen again. So we need for bring family values them back. Because the family, when at the bedrock of society, get a very important role for play in this fight against drugs.
So it's not the biggest challenge when they get span this fit.
Well, the challenge them, not be one challenge. Of course, I don't say we really get for need more resources because if I don't go far past how we did, and of course, just like I tell you in terms of the law side, we get some people in the community there with the leak information, with the leak information, where they want to read, for example. Then some people are not just because some people make money out of this. So when they make money, they try to navigate their way through the system, So challenges and but we do best.
So it's not a challenge.
I don't say we need more resources because in 2 years we just don't establish. Where His Excellency declared state of emergency, the key thing that we mentioned during that statement, they were a state member in April 2024, for mobilized resources and for enhanced collaboration. From that 10 years to now, if all man we're facing a stakeholder in this space, if all man don't really play a role, I should say we establish rehab centers in every district. But we only have 5 rehab centers in this country, and each of them center and they only take 50 people at a time, now because of the resources. Now only Hastings, where they have PMTC, where they take 100 at a time. If we're able to expand the rehab centers and we will take more and more young people, I believe say will go really go far, but it's a drug fight. But then it all boils down to the available resources.
So when I get the manpower in terms of mental health to nurse them or other experts them with kindergarten rehabilitation day.
We get Because the model we're using is community-based rehabilitation. So we get social workers, but they know we ever do. We get drug addiction workers, but they know we ever do. But we get partners in our communities who are capable of building capacity for people to this fair so. And of course, we get medical personnel as well, all over this country. Each and every district in our salon, one opportunity we get the structures. We get the DHMTs, we get social workers, Ministry of Social Welfare office in each and every district in this country. So we get personnel, and we're able to train more people there. We go with this fair so.
Okay, continue for the return of the program. We look at another issue. The chief organizer for the Royal Queen's Cup, Umu Hassan King, asked the Salon Football Association for create platform where we encourage private institution and individual them for begin invest in different tournaments them for tap premier player and for focus pan community after the league season. Umu Hassan King talked this inside the grand final of the Royal Queen's Cup for female football club them. Also Eastern Lioness be lost to Ascensionia Football Club by 2-0. Jaffaman's Davis gets more in Guna report.
Plenty player them after the main league season and community football. Nothing all day for engage themselves and keep focused on the game. This now we don't happen for long term now. And for women football, according to plenty football experts them, it help for weaken the player them before the new league season they start. This gap, now one football administrator in the country, we want for give solution to we make it organize the Royal Queen's Cup for women team then a free turn so that themselves go engage before the new league season they start. Umu Hassan King, now the organizer for the Royal Queen's Cup, he explain more.
So today na the final for the Royal Queen's Cup 2026. This na tournament will involve 6 teams. Today we not forget the 2 winners and we see Osai Ashantonians don't lift the trophy. After when the league came done, we understand say the girl picking them, not getting anything for engage themselves into. And immediately after we they get it in season. So because of that, I think that short time wait and they wait, the June, the July, the August, it will be too long. So why not get a tournament for engage them, keep them busy, keep them focused in the game.
The organizer continue for make this call to different individual and institution them for make move for the support football with then kind move they are and tap the player them, not for engage too much on community football for avoid injury them before the new league season.
For keep them focused now one, and we they look for scouting players. That make we get one of international scouts we Nakaisamba, and we believe say other teams them don't scout players from this tournament. Now return in investment. It's either it come back to you personally or it come back to the country. So individual or corporate institutions, so we the ask on for come on board because football now way of employment. So with all hands on deck, we go able for go before.
For this grand final, now in between Eastern Lioness and Ashantonians Football Club, Usai after 90 minutes of play, it be happen say Ashantonians Football Club been get 2-0 victory over Eastern Lioness, and we make we talk to the coach for Ashantonians Football Club, Mohammed Wuri saw what he explain, but waiting now the secret for this victory.
We feel good because this is not our team. We not really do well in our Premier League. So before we sit down, we try for jelly players and back together for see how we go fight for come back. So for give them this chance to make them play and win. That feeling they go motivate them more. So many people they expect good for Ascensionia. Relegation not to the end of it. Sometimes relegation can come from when you return, correct the house waiting be done missing and come back stronger.
From the winning team, Better Democracy same way so turn attention to the losing team when a Eastern Lioness inside this grand final, and the head coach na Abubakar Kamara inside his statement he explained what in the positive what in team get up from this defeat and how they go use the Division 1 competition for qualify for the next Premier League.
The game now so I win and loss, so we lost, we appreciate it. We go now the going board back, we go work on it. More we number 11 win our will not be well, so we just risk some and most of the player them back, some of the get injury. Like God the power next season we will qualify for Premier League, and if they set this stuff next season back we will win them. The Ashantina people will know because them buy some players them we at the Premier League we not just be for one team and we not take nobody, and my girls say I believe them and we perform well. Well at the tell the fans them, make them someone take courage and continue for support we go do am.
This competition, according to the organizer them, now one way go continue after any league season, and Edo Democracy go continue for updates the public, but how the women football they grow in different parts of the country. For the Society for Edo Democracy, Jaffa Mans Davis, they report.
The program made it sure they continue, and I still get with me and Sumana Kone in the Director Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services in the Ministry of Social Welfare. So, Lord, look at now, looking forward, waiting at the vision of Ministry of Social Welfare in improving mental health and reduce the intake of drug and substance abuse in the country.
Well, of course, the ministry, Women Day is now for address vulnerabilities. We'll continue that mandate day. And, of course, as a government ministry, we always, continue to fight hard for address the mental health needs of vulnerable populations, including drug addicts. So we look forward to, us, having increased budget allocation, for get more resources, for able get more rehabilitation centers around the country. Because let me tell you something, any side in this country, it needs support for young people there, because drug in each and every corner in this country, and the need is huge. Of course, the evidence we'll get, over the years, for the past 2 years now, we get a database where we don't show say we register over 4,000 young people there. Out of that number, they just slightly over 1,000 we don't able to service. We don't go through rehabilitation. So I make initially the appeal to the private sector, to partners for come on board for support, the fight against drug and substance abuse, because the future of youth in this country, it is at stake if we're able to address, the impact of drug and substance abuse on the mental health. So we committed to providing those services, that make we still work alongside other partners then for ensure say, as a ministry, this happen.
So person they ask if you want to go register for rehabilitate in Pekin or a nephew, who's in for go?
Any side in the country, every district get a social welfare office. So just get the person going to a social welfare office. We'll get to registration procedure day, then go assess them and add them to a database. That make at least the 5 rehab centers in the country, people can go back access them. If we get rehab centers in Akono. So if you're any side where around Akono area, go to the Ministry of Social Welfare office, that side you get Pekin registered. If you did around McKinney area, we'll get rehab centers in McKinney. If you're anywhere in the north, can you Pekin go to the Ministry of Social Welfare office? Now McKinney town, they'll get registered. If you did Kailan district, the northern region, the eastern region, we get rehab. Na Daru. Go to the Kenema office, then register in Pekin. Of course, if you're in the southern region, we'll get rehab center in Botown, go to a military base. Can you Pekin go now the Ministry of Social Welfare office now, then go get registered, add on to the database, then you'll get opportunity for access rehabilitation service.
So the service is not free?
Not free. Now the good thing, and now that government struggle because the rehabilitation service not free. Now government provide all the services, so parents are not getting much for it. Parents don't pay money. It's free, not free. Parents don't pay any money. Now we feed them 3 times a day. Now we provide medical services. Now we provide psychosocial interventions, counseling, and all things. The only two parents can get for do, even the toiletries. Now we provide them. The only two can encourage parents them for do for prepare Pekin, like say they travel. Get a small bag, put in box in there. Get them some clothes them, some vest them for go rehab, like say they travel. But every other thing else is provided by the government.
So it could be a message out there to young people in terms of for letting tap for take drug and other harmful substance there.
Most of the young people not even know kush or not know tramadol. So what I tell them is that then drug na poison, because there is clear evidence for sure say the chemical components of the drug are poison. That the chemical they put in the drug then they refer to them as synthetic fatal opioids. Fatal until they kill. Tramadol, kush, now for avoid them. Because the chemical components there, they kill young people then. So now avoid them completely. These are synthetic drugs and they therefore kill people then.
Okay. Plenty thank you we joining at the program Enimna and Sumana Kone in the Director Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services na the Ministry of Social Welfare. As today be there so for talk about the impacts where the Ministry of Social Welfare done the create benefit against drugs and substance abuse in the country. Plenty thank you we joining at the program.
Thank you very, very much.
Well, now this edition of the program it is show go left for today, Tuesday, July 14, 2026. Plenty thank you to me producer Theodore Arena, Lucinda Williams for in technical support, Mary Kamabango make una watch you live on our Facebook page, and me na Karifa to Conte. They say bye bye.